Who had this on their bingo card? The Indianapolis Colts. Yes, the Colts are 3-0 to start the season. And the man leading the charge, Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones. The same Daniel Jones who was mocked in New York, mocked for turnovers, left for dead as a starting quarterback. Now behind this strong Colts defense. And with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, Jones is playing pretty much some of the best football of his career. And now Indy looks like a contender. Yes, I'm saying this. But I'm going to ask you guys, is this for real? Or is it a flash in the pan? I'm going to ask your opinion first before I provide my opinion as an Indianapolis Colts fan. So, well, I'm going to ask you to go first. Go on.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely. Like it's very hard to score 41 points plus in the NFL against any team. It doesn't matter how bad the team is. So they're definitely doing something right. I think Shane Steichen has his guy now. What was that?
Yeah, but the thing is, they played well against Denver, right?
Yeah, it's Tennessee, but I'm still like, it's still the NFL.
They had the number one overall pick.
41. I understand that, but I'm saying 40 points plus is not something
against a rookie quarterback.
Against the rookie quarterback, it doesn't matter. Like I'm telling you, like you can probably get to 30, but 41 is something to raise your eyebrows about. I think Daniel Jones is obviously on a redemption arc right now. Like I said, the team is currently 3-0 with him under the helm. He's doing things Peyton Manning wasn't able to achieve in this short amount of time now. So it's really interesting to see how this is all playing out. I think I just want to give a big shout out to Daniel Jones to say I'm happy that he was able to keep his head high and stay positive, because when you're pushed down as a QB for that amount of time, it really gets in your head. And for him to be able to go to another team and play the way he's playing shows that he's actually got a lot of moxie and he's able to push on. He's got the athleticism. He's always had the arm talent. It's good to see this happening. Anthony Richardson now, I think, is probably going to be used as trade bait heading into like the end of the season. Like he's a good serviceable backup, but I think another head coach and another organization in the NFL would like to take a crack at him. The thing is now, can your team keep this going?
Okay, that's all right. I'll chime in first. Well, next. So if you look at the games that the Colts have played the Dolphins and the Titans. So in terms of like teams, like a divisional matchup, anything can happen, right? But Cam Ward isn't playing particularly well to start his NFL career. A win's a win, right? The game against the Denver Broncos, putting up 29 points against the Broncos, against a very good defense in that, a team that plays a lot of man coverage, blitzes a lot. So the thing that's impressed me about Daniel Jones is that, but first of all, nobody expected him to be the number one quarterback in the AFC South after 3 weeks, right? Everyone's talking about CJ Stroud. Nobody expected that at all. Daniel Jones has had extremely good pocket awareness in the games that he's played so far. When he's had pressure, not only has he been able to skirt it and run down the field, he's been able to skirt it and just move around the pocket, feel the pressure, and then throw the ball, binding his guys downfield. This is something that I haven't seen from Daniel Jones in the past.
I've seen it.
This comfortableness.
I've seen it with the Giants' defensive line, so he's had to.
The Giants' offensive line, but the thing is, the Giants' offensive line, he was running for his life, right?
Yeah,
but I'm talking about him. I'm talking about him just shimmying within the pocket and then throwing really good.
He has more time, but I think he's kind of been conditioned to expect the worst. So I think his feelers are out there on every play. So you know how a QB can sometimes feel pressure? I think he's had to, with what he's had to work with in the past, he's feeling the pressure, but now he has a little bit more time. You know what I mean? He has the protection. So that's how he's able to look like the way he's looking now.
And then you look at it, you've got a strong running game with Jonathan Taylor, right?
3 TDs, by the way.
Right? A strong running game with Jonathan Taylor. 3 touchdowns in this game. And then you have this unicorn called Tyler Warren. Right?
Oh.
This unicorn called Tyler Warren, where you line him at tight end, he's incredible. You do tight end screens to him, you throw it short routes, then, just for shits and giggles, you're going to line him at fullback, and he's going to lead block for Jonathan Taylor on a ridiculous touchdown, or he's going to... He did a fullback... He ran one out, he did a fullback sail route in one of the games where they completely lost him in coverage because he was coming from the backfield. The linebacker was trying to pick him up, and he's already disappeared with a play action, and it's just, I think that's a big thing from the offensive point of view, because the Colts have been wanting somebody at tight end, somebody game changing at tight end, and that's what they've got.
That guy. It's like they got that
right?
guy.
So you've got their guy at tight end, you've got a guy at running back. The guy at quarterback is not making massive errors. The only errors is sometimes he misses a throw. He makes the read, but he misses the guy. But he's not throwing an interception. He just doesn't throw the touchdown, kind of thing. The deep ball was really good. There was one pass to Alec Pierce is going to be out with a concussion. So that's going to be something to see in the game against the Rams this coming week. Now, this is a tough matchup. Then this next matchup is really going to show the mettle of the team. Traveling to LA and playing against the Rams. This is really going to show, are the Colts really for real? Considering the games that come up after, when they play the Raiders, play the Cardinals, at home, both those games. So this road game will really show what the Colts are about. And if you look at it from the defensive side of the ball, it was a great way to start this game. Pick six, Kenny Moore. Now, one thing I will say on Cam Ward, he had was it the slant that came free? Slant's normally an early read, but he looked deep and then threw to his check down blind, effectively. And Kenny Moore just went, high ball, pick six, third play of the game. We're starting with a 7-0 lead. It was not the start that they wanted to make, but it was a great start for the Colts. The only thing that I will say from a Colts point of view is, from a defensive end perspective, they're not getting enough sacks, but the defensive line is working as a group, and it's just the DTs are getting the sacks at the moment. And in run situations, I think the defensive ends haven't been as great in terms of gap integrity. So the Colts have allowed a few runs where they shouldn't have, where I think one was where Ebukam tried to cheat inside and they just bounced it out and it allowed a big gain, because if he had stayed in his gap, there's going to be next to no gain. And it's things like that, it's small little things like that it's being nitpicky because the team's 3-0. But if you want to maintain that really high level, you've got to improve things. Now, a lot of Colts fans are thinking, hey, try and make a trade for Trey Hendrickson kind of thing. But I don't know whether that's the thing that they should be aiming for. Your thoughts on that? Peter, I'll ask you that. Should the Colts try and trade for someone elite at defensive end to bring that whole group up? Because Latu at the moment is the only one who's looking like doing something.
It's too early to do that. You have to see where you have at the trade deadline and where your records are, because it's too early to make such a trade like that. If come the trade deadline, you guys are 7-0, 7-2, then you make that move. But right now, the GM can't make that move to see how the next couple of games are gonna be like. But it's a fantastic start by the Colts. Very surprising for the NFL, because I don't think a lot of teams expect the Colts to be 3-0 after the first 3 weeks. So good play by the team, especially, and also the defense as well, have stepped up and played really well. Now, the question is, let's get to, let's say, the bye week and see what the record is, because
Do you know when the
I
bye
still don't
week
trust Daniel
is?
Jones, man.
Week
When's your
11.
bye week?
Week 11.
Week 11. Okay, let's get to the trade deadline and let's see what the record is, and
So
then
I'm going to
um
read off all these games to the bye week, right? Rams away, the Raiders, then the Cardinals at home, the Chargers away, Titans at home, Steelers away, Falcons at home. Come back from the bye, Chiefs away, Texans at home, Jags away, Seahawks away, 49ers and the Jags at home, Texans away on the road. So it's a good start, but got to continue to beat the good teams, right? Otherwise, you're not going. There's the Rams are a good team, Chargers are a good team, Steelers are always going to fight, Chiefs always going to fight, Seahawks are a good team, 49ers will have pieces back. So there's some tough matchups in this run, but it's a good start.
Great start.
Great start.
it's a great start. I mean, it remains to be seen whether the season will be. I mean, it appears that Daniel Jones. One thing I would say is that he's found a great fit for his skill set and a great offense. So, I hope it continues and he could be the QB that your franchise is. I think a more recent example could be Baker Mayfield. I mean, he went to Tampa and now Tampa has become his franchise. He was
So
able to bounce back and rebuild himself.
and
So that could happen for
sometimes when
Jones like the Colts. Never say
what
never.
we'll say is when people write players off too early, because it doesn't work out in their first destination, doesn't mean it's not going to work out somewhere else. We've seen this quite a few times. We saw it with Sam Darnold as well. So
Yep.
let's see how it goes. Drop a comment down below. Is this is my team for real, or do you think it's just a flash in the pan?